What's good, 2K family? Today's video is something I'm interested in as somebody who's been a fan of basketball since I was a young boy. Really love going back to the basics sometimes and just experiencing the NBA. So today, NBA 2K has revealed their presentation article. It's basically just an article describing the upgrades and the additions and different things that they've done. And I want to kind of go over it and just talk about this because people who follow me most likely are into my career. Maybe you're a my team guy, but how many of you actually just play for the NBA part and not other elements? That's the question. So leave it in the comments. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you want more and you down with me. And here we go. So first things first is basically, as you could tell from the highlights, is the game looks way better than the previous years. So the fidelity is very much improved. They basically said they have new shaders bringing out the skin details, including sweat, muscle definition, surface textures, ultra fine stitching on the jerseys and shoes. Then they talked about the arena visuals. They explained that the redesign for the lighting and the color correction for a more dynamic court illumination. They also said there's new floor shaders replicating unique wood grain finishes and gloss levels of all the 30 NBA arenas. And they also describe the team-specific arena features, right? So you have the Clippers, the wall, you have the team-unique spotlights, different things like that that are enhanced realism. So that's important. And they talked about the arena atmosphere. They wanted the crowds to vary population and diversity of body types, heads, and age groups. They wanted to make sure that the fans display props such as towels, foam fingers, and all the traditional things that people use. Then they talked about the player and the on-court interactions. They basically refreshed animations for the pregame shoot around, the bench, and huddle sequences. Timeouts and substitution animations include new engagements, players interacting with the refs, and things like that. So really nice. Then they talked about the broadcast team, and they basically emphasized a few new things. They got Tim Legler voicing with Greg Anthony, Dan Van Gundy, Shams from ESPN, and some more. A lot more, actually. And they talked about the commentary when the games are close and in clutch moments. It'll be more intense, depending on that scenario. I thought was very cool. Things like the ceremonies got enhanced. So the NBA Cup, for example, it's a bigly important thing. And then they talked about the dynamic championship in the arena, making sure that those are displayed, the banners. And then one of the things that was very interesting was the instant replay feature. I've been wanting instant replay on every mode. I know that's probably asking a lot, but we got it for offline mode. Then we also got it for Pro-Am. You can instant replay after you're finished the game as far as like highlights and things like that. I think this would be an amazing feature if every game mode had it. It'll take 2K to the next level so that people can make cool highlights. Personally, as a content creator, it'll be so much easier to just get my highlights straight from the game like that. And I might have to just play Pro-Am all year. We might just do that. But so that's what's going down when it comes to this information. And I kind of want to take the rest of the time to talk about some things that I'm thinking about and feeling. I feel that we need to get back to this. I made a video saying my career has ruined your love for the NBA. And what I meant by that was not that, you don't like basketball or anything or NBA, but I know myself included, I go into my career trying to make my player now. I want to make the most efficient, most dominating player I can. And I don't want to just copy, a specific player because some of their weaknesses. You got a great offensive player who isn't as good defensively, and I'm not going to copy his style. I want some defense. I want some offense. I want to be able to be reasonably reliable as a player and not have weaknesses if I could. And so I tend to forget about the actual NBA side. And like, plus my career makes it so that it's impossible to just like, if I get out there and I'm going to make a Jordan and I want to make a Kobe, they're kind of similar, right? But then I'm like, I want to make a Carmelo, another one of my favorite players of all time. Oh, I want to make, and I start naming my favorite players and I'm making them. It's going to cost me $500 just to make my first 5 favorite players. Then I still haven't made a competitive character in my career. And so I'll end up missing out on having a competitive player because I wanted to make a Carmelo, who might not have the best defense, but gonna be an offensive monster. So these are the kind of things that I've been thinking about this year about like how much I love the NBA and how sometimes I'll just do play now just to get the vibe of the NBA, especially during like the playoffs. I always get inspired. And playing things like my team, you get to play with some great players, and that's always fun. But even them, they're not the real versions of those players. It's like, you know, crazy defense, crazy offense, 99 overalls, invincible cars, or whatever. So it's just some food for thought about like how things go and what I'm thinking and feeling and what I'm looking forward to for this year. I am going to be playing more different modes from now on as well. So my channel is going to be special. I feel like this is my first year like unleashing my NBA love. I've done a lot of content, but a lot of it is my career and a lot of it is for the builder and the player, my player. But you're going to see some changes and I'm going to have fun with that. You bring back my inner NBA fan full throttle. So you should be good. With that being said, I just want y'all to know, man, it's been a fun ride. I tend to go over to the limit with my content, and it's strictly just because I love basketball. So really excited to give y'all all this content if you've been rocking with me. We're gonna keep it popping once the builds and all the information starts coming out. I'm gonna have you covered. Looks like if you're watching this today, tomorrow will be the official my builder and my player, and I got y'all for that. And if it isn't tomorrow, it's at the next day. So it's automatically either Thursday or Friday. I'll have that covered. If you're watching this later, you should definitely go check that out. It should be popping up on your screen now. And make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe if you want to continue to rock with me and get more content. All right. Y'all stay safe, stay blessed. Take care of yourselves out there. One.